Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Education, the teaching of our children. For the last 400 years, we have had public education. On April 23rd, 1635, the first public school was opened in Boston, the Boston Latin School. Damn. It was a boys-only secondary school modeled after the Free Grammar School of Boston, England. The English school taught Latin and Greek and was centered on the humanities. However, they didn't teach critical race theory because in 1636, they could just look out the window and watch it. Some of the Boston Latin School's most well-known alumni include John Hancock and Samuel Adams. Benjamin Franklin, however, was a dropout. And then he went and started a band. And then B.J. Franklin invented the electric guitar. Public schools have been around in America for hundreds and hundreds of years. Massachusetts passed the first compulsory school laws in 1852. New York followed, and by 1918, all American children were required to attend at least elementary school. Education for all! That was the motto. Because we were building a country. We needed people who knew how to do that. You know, railroads and bridges and agriculture, technology, commerce, businesses. The school taught literature and science. Then we became the greatest country ever built. And then the powers that be realized, oh, we need workers, not smart people who think for themselves. Holy shit. And that was the beginning of the end for education in America. I mean, unless you're rich and then you're a legacy and welcome to Harvard, douchebag. You can tell how little we value education in America by how we treat teachers. And currently we are 200,000 teachers short in America. That's 4,000 teachers per state. Sorry, 4,082 per state. I forgot all the teachers have already left Florida. Because, you know, Florida. Why such a shortage of teachers? Well, what could it be? I mean, could it be the shit pay or the shit hours? No school supplies, kids out of control, and parents that blame the teachers for their failures as parents. It's not Mrs. Johnson's fault, Toby's and Juvie. It's yours, Mom and Dad. Face it. Let's deal with all these one at a time. Low pay. Now, a beginning teacher salary in America is $44,000 in California, and in South Dakota, it's $33,000. Do the math on that. That's $17 an hour, and that doesn't count doing lesson plans or correcting papers or fighting freshman douchebags from the smoking area. Again, good job, Mom and Dad. You should be proud. $17 an hour. My son works in fast food. He makes 22. And him working fast food, well, I guess that's my fault. Good job, Titus. What's it worth for someone to take your child and teach them for 8 hours a day? Teach them critical thinking about art, history, finance, science. Again, except Florida. So many parents think of school as daycare. It's not. It's your kid's future. Education is the first line in national security, economic security, technological security, and can make and break our country. Maybe we should pay the people on the front line, our teachers, more than a kid who isn't qualified to make fries quite yet, because as my son says,
that's level 4.
But I don't think pay is the biggest reason. The biggest reason for teachers quitting is that you parents think you get to decide what your kids learn. You want books banned and stop the teaching of true history. When your little miracle, and I say that because it should have been a wet stain on the sheets, that it survived your drunken frolic behind the porta potties at Lollapalooza, is a miracle. We have so many parents who not only blame the teacher for the failure of their little mistakes, but then think they get to tell someone who has a degree and dedicate their lives to education that, hey, man, I decide what my kids learn. I don't know no science, but guess what? I just bought me a 1997 Camaro, and I'm only paying 21% interest. Who's successful now? And my kids don't need to learn about no slavery or math or how to write words that people can read. Besides, I already taught them how to shoot and stop a meth lab from exploding. Now you can blame the government for teachers' bad pay. Local and federal. Because honestly, they don't want thinkers who are going to question why those people are in a shit job and have no health care while the rest of the world has health care. They want workers who will obey. And they have convinced the uneducated that the educated are elites and that unions are a bad thing. You mean the elites? The people with all the money and the power? Yeah. And who wants that?
Not me.
And unions? Unions who raise your pay and make sure you are treated well? Maybe that's why the elites don't want schools to teach about slavery, so you don't notice what's really happening at your job. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Nope, still got flavor. You know, man, people just got to go to school. Just go to school. I screwed up and look at me. I barely graduated. I've never had any help my whole life. I also didn't have a